In the sweltering summer of 1920, two Italian immigrants found themselves at the center of what would become one of America's most controversial criminal cases. Nicola Sacco, a shoe factory worker, and Bartolomeo Vanzetti, a fish peddler, were just two of millions who came to America seeking a better life. But their story would become far more than just another immigrant tale. These men weren't just any immigrants, they were anarchists, believers in a world without government control. In the Red Scare era of post-World War I America, this political belief alone made them suspicious in many people's eyes. But did it make them murderers? On April 15, 1920, in South Braintree, Massachusetts, two men were killed during a payroll robbery, a guard and a paymaster. The criminals made off with over $15,000. A few weeks later, Sacco and Vanzetti were arrested. But here's where things get interesting. They were initially arrested for carrying firearms and being suspicious characters. The murder charges came later. The trial that followed was anything but ordinary. Judge Webster Thayer, who presided over the case, was heard making prejudiced remarks about the defendants outside the courtroom. The prosecution's evidence was shaky at best. Eyewitness testimonies were contradictory, and ballistics evidence was disputed. Yet, despite alibis and character witnesses, both men were found guilty and sentenced to death. What happened next was unprecedented. The case sparked international outrage. Protests erupted across the globe, from Tokyo to Buenos Aires. Famous writers, artists, and intellectuals like Albert Einstein and George Bernard Shaw spoke out against what they saw as a grave injustice. The trial wasn't just about two men anymore. It had become a symbol of the prejudice faced by immigrants and political dissidents. Despite worldwide protests and appeals that lasted 7 years, Sacco and Vanzetti were executed on August 23, 1927. Their final letters from prison, filled with dignity and unwavering belief in their innocence, moved thousands. Vanzetti's last words still echo today. "I wish to forgive some people for what they are now doing to me." 50 years later, in 1977, Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis issued a proclamation stating that Sacco and Vanzetti had been unfairly tried and convicted. Their case became a powerful reminder of the dangers of prejudice in our justice system and the importance of protecting the rights of all people, regardless of their background or beliefs. Today, the Sacco and Vanzetti case remains a cautionary tale about justice, prejudice, and the price of fear. It reminds us that true justice must be blind to nationality, political beliefs, and social status. The question still lingers. Were they guilty of murder, or were they victims of a system that saw them as dangerous simply because they were different? Their story continues to resonate, especially in times when fear and prejudice threaten to override justice. It stands as a powerful reminder that the principles of fair trial and equal justice under law must be zealously protected, not just for some, but for all.